Welcome back, everybody, to what did we call this? The National Water Park of Speed, Road America. The National Park of Speed, Road America, here for the 68th consecutive running of the WeatherTech Chicago Region SCCA June Sprints. I'm Greg Ginsburg, along with Brian Bolansky, and I've got to thank Brendan Kazmarek, our producer, for that one. And now all I can think of is big water slides down by turn 5. Then he says the kink has a long flu. All right, so we've got our racers from Formula F, Formula V, and Formula 600, Brian, heading onto the track for their pace lap, for the pace lap of the Breakometer Challenge, where our first place winners in each class will win $200 in cash, two certificates for 2 tires from Hoosier Racing Tire, the Chicago Region June Sprints checkered flag, and as well as that June Sprints hat. Second place will take home $100 cash and a certificate for 1 tire from Hoosier Racing Tire, as well as a June Sprints hat. And our third place finisher, $50 cash, a Breakometer $100 product certificate, as well as the highly coveted June Sprints hat. Let's run down the starting grid. We had 23 drivers set times in Formula 600 and Formula F. They're going to be behind the pace car, and then a little bit further back, we're going to have our Formula Vs, of which there were 16 drivers that have set times. Starting 23rd, driving the number 61 Formula 600 Wildcat, it is David Brown. Starting 22nd in the number 67 Scorpion, Jack Walburn. Ethan Alexander will start 21st. He's in the number 30 Red Devil. That's another Formula 600 car. And then Dan Greening starting 20th. He's in the 03 Formula 600, also a Red Devil. Then in Formula F, Keith Hall. He's starting 19th, driving the number 18 Piper, while Robert Gross will start 18th on the field, driving the number 62 Formula F Piper as well. Then Cameron Reed driving the 09, say it to everybody, Piper. She's from Youngsville, Louisiana. And then starting 16th today, driving the number 83 Formula F Mygale, it is Ken Bakilian. Demetrius Kostandidis will start 15th. He's in the number 33 Van Diemen, with George Bugg in Formula 600. He is starting 14th, driving the number 86 Novacar. Then we got David Adorno. He's starting 13th on the field in the number 84 Mygale. He's out of Woodhaven, New York. Cliff Johnson starts 12th. He's in the number 4 Piper, while Tazio Staffanelli will start 11th. He's in the number 23 Formula F Piper. Then we've got another Formula 600 driver. It's Jeff Jorgensen. He starts 10th today. He's in the 06 Maverick. Starting 9th, Calvin Cox. He's in the bright silver number 88 Formula F Piper. Then we've got Calvin Cox. He is starting 9th. Calvin Cox in the number 88 machine. I just said that, didn't I? Mateo Naranjo is going to start 8th today. He's in the number 80 Mygale. He's out of Edwards, Illinois. Then we've got Zach Rivard. He's starting 7th. He's in the 77 Van Diemen. And then Keith Jocelyn running in Formula 600, as all of our remaining drivers are. He is in a Rotax-powered Scorpion, starting 6th today in the 55 car. Then we've got Stephen Jondahl starting 5th. He's driving the number 38 Red Devil, while Stephen Thompson will start 4th. He's driving the number 17 Nova car. Then we've got James Guida. James is driving the number 22 Scorpion, with Aaron Ellis running the number 43 Ellis AE16. And I'm sure that AE stands for Aaron Ellis. And your pole sitter today, with the qualifying time of 2:18.522, driving a Novacar F600, it's Calvin Stewart. Now in Formula V, we had 16 drivers who set times over the weekend. One of them, I believe, is in the chat with us and not on track. That would be Jay Messenger. Glad to have Jay here with us today. He had a pretty nasty wreck during the test day, and glad to see him A-OK. Jay was scheduled to start 16th in his Van Diemen. Probably, that wouldn't be a Van Diemen, would it be? That would be a Formula F machine. I'm sorry. Scoop Havey will start 15th, driving the number 64 Formula V Protoform. Michael Nitz in his Mysterian, scheduled to start 14th. That's a 94 car. Connor Loughead in the number 48 machine. A Vortex, scheduled to start 13th. Starting 12th, driving the number 74 Caracal, it is Stuart Delaney. with Joseph Bertolucci in a citation starting 11th in the 31 car. Rich Richardson will start 10th. He's driving the number 99 Laser, with Chris Jennerjahn driving a Vortec. That's the number 46 car, starting 9th. Starting 8th in the 08 Vortec, it's Jeff Loughead with William Styczynski starting in 7th position. William is driving the number 21 Vortec. Steve Whitston will start 6th in the 118 Protoform, with Alexander Bertolucci starting 5th in the 181 Citation. Then we've got Ron Whitston also in a Protoform. He starts 4th in the number 5 machine, with Graham Loughead starting 3rd in the number 35 Vortec. And then your front row, starting in 2nd with the number 27 Protoform from Austin, Texas, it's Zach Whitston. And your pole sitter, driving the number 12 Protoform from Neenah, Wisconsin, with a qualifying time of 2:41.594, Andrew Whitston.
All right, here comes our first pack, with the second pack very close behind. Coming up the hill here, there goes our pace car on pit lane. And they will now move up the hill towards a potential green flag. Pretty much kind of have to throw it. These split starts make things kind of interesting here. Seeing our starters, then the green flag is in the air. Here they go, down towards the corner now, already 3 wide. Orange car on the outside, not sure what number, already going from row 3 or 4 up to row 2.
Yeah, and I believe that was Stephen Thompson in the 17 machine, Brian, coming in underneath, trying to slot past. We'll take a look here in just a moment.
Second place.
Yeah, moving all the way up into second place. We'd, I think, slotting into 4th then. Calvin Stewart and Aaron Ellis up towards the front of the field. As our Formula Vs, you mentioned, not much of a gap. That gap, I think, naturally is going to appear here in just a moment as the Vs start to roll down the hill towards turn number 3. And your leaders, it is, for the moment, Andrew Whitston in that red and white number 12 machine, with his brother Zach Whitston currently running in 2nd. In the yellow and blue, another yellow and blue car, I believe that's Graham Loughead right behind, with Ron Whitston and Alexander Bertolucci as they just come out of turn 3. And our leaders now in Formula 600 and Formula F starting to make their way up the hill. Now in Formula 600, Brian, we had a great race early on between Aaron Ellis and James Weida before I believe we had Weida pretty much jump to a pretty good finish there, and Aaron Ellis and Stephen Thompson. But the missing link was Calvin Stewart yesterday in the 07 machine, as he celebrated the Sabbath, was not out on track, as we've got a car that is off pace now, spun over by turn 6 and just getting back underway.
Yeah, and what's interesting here, Greg, is we've got a lot of cars on different tire strategies here. Some guys went out on rains, some guys went out on wets, and I think that's going to really play into some interesting racing here, especially if it stays dry. Obviously, the dry tire guys are going to be smart, and if we get that back and forth between the two weather conditions like we've had for the last couple of races, that's all going to play into a very interesting dynamic here.
All right, as our racers, and we were watching that Spec Racer Ford race a little while ago and said, hey, nobody's gone through that big puddle coming through the kink. Well, now they have, as they went 2 wide, and we're going to see one of our Formula Vs very far driver's right coming out of the kink. Might have had some issues going into the corner there, and now gets the car gathered up as they make the run down to Canada Corner. But here are leaders in Formula 600 and Formula F coming up through the Bill Mitchell Bend. And we will see who our leaders are as they come out of turn 14 and up the front straight. And, Brian, just in the last couple of moments, we have had a very, and, I always say that there's a dark cloud that follows me around everywhere, but a very dark cloud right over the front straight here at Road America, as our leaders now crossing the stripe for the first time. It's James Weida, your leader, with Stephen Jondahl, who has made a number of positions up. He started 5th. He has now worked his way up in the 2nd position. And then we've got the battle for the lead in Formula F. We've got 2 of our Pelfrey cars. David Adorno in the number 84 machine. I believe that's the black car, the 84. And then Sebastian Naranjo in the yellow number 80 machine. And the next driver in line in Formula F is Zach Rivard, who was our Formula F pole sitter. He's got a couple of Formula 600 machines that he's got to work around to get up to that battle for the lead in class.
going back up to see what tire strategy the 22 car was on, if that was one of the folks that I'd gotten a report on, and it is not one of the cars I was received a report on. So I'm going to guess that car might be on dry tires. Oh, yep, there was some contact right there, and it looks like there's going to be a broken suspension on that car possibly, and which means someone's going to have to go and hook that to get it out of there.
Yeah, and that is the 77 machine, Brian, of Zach Rivard, who is off in the off behind the lip there, and the call is to get the emergency services teams to move that car. Thankfully, well, I was going to say thankfully it's not that far to move it, but given the broken suspension, it may be a little bit more difficult situation there to get that car out. You can see now. Well, we'll see in just a moment. We're going to have some emergency services teams responding from that cutoff right at turn 5, and there they are already on the scene.
Yeah, there is, as you said, right there, there's a track truck ready to come and give help. So that's, if you're going to go and have an issue, that's a really good place to do it. Oh, really wet here. Lots of not standing water, but rain on the racetrack. You can see the spray coming up from those tires. And so, like I said, got different conditions at different parts of the racetrack, and some folks are going to handle that better than others.
All right, so now making the run and taking a look here, Brian, it appears the following drivers did not take the green flag today. We talked about Calvin Stewart, and I said, oh, hey, well, you know, he celebrates Sabbath. He wasn't racing yesterday. He'd be here today. And, well, no, Calvin Stewart did not take the start. Jeff Jorgensen, who had some issues at the number 6 machine, his Maverick yesterday, did not take the green flag today, nor did George Bugg or Jack Walburn. Those all Formula 600 drivers. In Formula F, Keith Hall did not take the green flag, nor did Jay Messenger. Jay here in the chat with us here today. And in Formula V, of the 15 drivers, Jeff Loughead, the only driver that did not take the green.
Greg, these are just brutal conditions, not because there's a lot of rain, just because it's so off and on, and in one lap it's here and one lap it's not. And it's really, really hard to make plans for what you want to do.
Yeah, and Brian, it looks like we have another driver that may be off that had impact with a wall, and I believe it was the 22 machine, and I'm trying to pick up the corner that he is at.
Well, the 22 machine
that would be
our race leader, Wida.
Yeah, well, we're gonna see if that's the case. No, I don't think that is the case, Brian.
Okay.
I don't think it's Wida. Yeah.
I'm looking at our cameras here, and I don't see.
And what that was is they were looking for our leader to try and pick him up, and because we're going to a full course caution.
Okay.
And that was the call. So I'll try and get the call on that other car.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it certainly does. Yes, we're now under full course caution here at Road America. When you have, Brian, when you've got like 3 different calls coming in pretty quick succession, a little difficult to pick that up. So hopefully we'll. And actually, there's the car right there by the cake.
Yeah. All right, let's take this opportunity with a full course yellow, Greg, to do a call to grid and take our break. And when we come back, hopefully the cleanups will be done and we can go back to racing.
Sounds good, Brian. Let's do it. Attention in the paddock. First call to the grid for race group number 7, Formula Enterprises 2, Prototype 1 and Prototype 2. Please head to the grid. Race group 7, FE2, P1, P2 drivers, please start heading to the grid. All right, so we'll be back in just a few moments. Going to thank some of our partners and sponsors that are bringing you all the action here this weekend from Road America, the National Park of Speed, for the 68th consecutive running of the WeatherTech Chicago Region June Sprints. We'll be right back.
Hagerty is the official and exclusive insurance partner for the Sports Car Club of America. Hagerty provides affordable off-track insurance protection for motorsports vehicles while in the paddock, in transit, in storage, and at the shop. They provide guaranteed value coverage and even have protection for your trailers. SCCA members can save 5% on insurance through Hagerty. Learn more at Hagerty.com. Hagerty, let's drive together.
Tire Rack was established over 40 years ago by an SCCA member with a passion to find the right tires, wheels, brakes, and suspension products for racers and enthusiasts both on the street and on the track. as official tire retailer of Sports Car Club of America since 1995 and sponsor of the Runoffs Pole Award, along with the National Solo Program, Time Trials Nationals and National Tour, and Track Night in America. Tire-Rack is proud to support the SCCA and its members as they go have fun with cars.
For over 25 years, championship-winning drivers and teams have demanded Hawk Performance Motorsports brake pads. Now you can have their advanced technology on your daily car, truck, or SUV with Hawk Performance Street products. With the improved HP Plus pad for that hybrid street and track feel, or Super Duty pads for tow vehicles, their all-new ER1 brake pad designed to take on even the longest race, and their all-new high-performance brake fluid, Hawk has all of your braking needs covered. Visit hawkperformance.com and like them on Facebook or Instagram to learn more about the Hawk Performance Advantage. Hawk Performance, what's stopping you?
Winning takes work. Getting parts is easy. SummitRacing.com.
For more than 100 years, Sunoco, SCCA's official fuel partner since 2001, has been fueling victories both on and off the track, which is why Sunoco has trusted the fuel over 50 series of racing, driving, and winning, including the SCCA National Championship Runoffs, SCCA Pro Racing, Trans Am, NHRA, and NASCAR. To find race gas near you, visit SunocoRaceFuels.com or call Sunoco at 800-RACE-GAS.
Welcome back to the National Park Speed Road America and the 68th consecutive running of the WeatherTech Chicago Region SCCA June Sprints, and how a lot has changed in the last few moments here. You know, when we left Brian, we had a single car there on the outside of the kink up against the wall, and now you'll notice like bunnies, they've multiplied.
Yeah. I suspect that this might be some of the cars who chose to go out on slick tires.
It's quite possible. And I might also add here, Brian, as they are there, you'll notice no other cars driving through the situation as we have gone to red flag conditions here where, and for those of you that were not with us yesterday, red flag in SCCA road racing is not the same as in FIA, which is somewhat the equivalent of our black flag asking drivers to come back into the pits. Red flag in SCCA is a command for all the drivers to come to a safe and complete stop over on the side of the racetrack, and it's basically so the race control and the emergency services workers can well get the track under control.
Yeah, the good news is it looks like everybody's obviously okay. It was nice and slow slides into that situation because everyone had already been slowed down for the full course.